So we would like to first welcome our special guests. We'd like to welcome our special guests here. Hare Krishna. So we spoke in the last days about A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder of this Hare Krishna movement. So actually, the founder of this movement gives us only partial information. This movement is only a part of another big movement. You could compare it with a tree which has different branches. So this is actually only a branch of a much, much bigger tree. And as we know, the tree has leaves and fruits sometimes and flowers. What is the reason for that? Because it's connected to the root. Sometimes a branch gets disconnected from the root and it dries out. So this movement is a branch. And because it's connected to the root, it can transmit anything, all the other things, what other branches are also, because you will find all the branches in a tree are the same. Not like you have a fruit tree and then there's come a needle tree, it doesn't, no. So, Srila Prabhupada was not only a very exceptional personality. I mean, before he came to the West, not many people knew about Bhakti Yoga, what we are practicing in Krishna consciousness. So it was known to some degree, but it was only very limited. But how to do it, or how to practice it practically, practically nobody knew. So Srila Prabhupada came to the West in a very advanced age with a mission. There's a mission. A mission he got from his spiritual master. Because actually the word guru means teacher. But as we know, you know it from the school, you know it from the university, everywhere you go. Nobody can become a teacher without having a teacher. It's like somebody wakes up in the morning and says, I want to teach in Rijeka in a university. No, it doesn't work. So spiritual life is the same. People sometimes think spiritual life depends on revelation, intuition. Now these things are also there. But intuition, revelation has to be confirmed in an authorized way. So this movement being started by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, by Srila Prabhupada, is nothing else as a representation of the message which was originally given by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, in the scriptures. Bhagavad Gita was spoken last time. It was spoken many times. But last time it was spoken, we could say roughly around 4,500 years ago. Yeah? Now 4,500 years is a long time for us. For Krishna, for God, it's not a long time. It's just yesterday. But for us, it's a long time. And you can know what can happen. During the time, people can forget. Or they can even change the meaning. Yeah? interpret. It happens. People start to interpret the original meaning of a book, finally turning it into another book. You know. And you have no really means to find out because you don't know. The original author is not here anymore. Same thing happens in the name of spiritual life. Things get perverted, things get forgotten. But that's actually where Srila Prabhupada comes into the picture. He represents something. Guru Parampara means a disciplic succession of teachers. His teacher had his teacher, and their teacher had his teacher, and their teacher had this teacher. We have pictures here. You find the last teachers on the altar here. We respect them because they fulfill the same purpose. It's not like another teacher, a new teacher can come and go, well, I think in my opinion, it is different. You can hear it when people are talking all the time. I think, in my opinion, I believe, yeah, people speak like this. But you will never hear an authorized teacher speaking like that. What he thinks, what he feels, what he believes, it's not important. He's representing the body of knowledge he learned from his spiritual master with no change. Now, there might be a change in the application of the knowledge. Because when you think in terms of 4,000 years ago, well, if you would speak the same thing 4,000 years ago, yeah, probably you will find different people. And we find even different religious scriptures. That's just to mention, yeah, we have absolute respect for Bible, Quran, revealed scriptures. But there has to be a teacher. A teacher in the context of our line is not just somebody who is speaking. He must also act according to what he is saying. You know? He cannot say, don't smoke, and then he lightens up a cigarette. He cannot do that. He has to teach by example. So, this is why Srila Prabhupada was so effective in his presentation of the scriptures. Because he was teaching by example. You could see it. You know? Basically, all the scriptures establish certain principles. Yeah? In a Christian line, you find the 10 commands. Yeah? Yeah. Muslims, they have their commands. They have their, clear principles established. And you cannot call yourself Christian or Muslim, or even Hare Krishna, if you don't follow the principles. You know? That's called hypocrisy. Yeah? If you are following that line, you must follow the principle. So that was established by Srila Prabhupada. He showed us. You could see him. Srila Prabhupada came to the West. He had no support. He was one single man. At the end of his life, no money, no friends, no institution to rely to. And what did he do? Well, he just sat down under a tree and he was doing what his spiritual master told him. This movement started by singing the name of God. Hare Krishna. Yeah? Now, Prabhupada indicated there may be even different names. God has so many names. Prabhupada said, you are not God, but you have only 2 names. And some people have more names. They have 1 name, they have 3 names. You know? So you are not God, but God should have only one name. You know? Prabhupada was very universal. He had a problem. It was challenged from the Christian line. You know, it's only Jesus, the Son of God. God had one Son, Jesus. And Prabhupada said, but you have two sons, three sons, and you are not God. Why should God have only one son? Is he so poor that he can have only one son? He said, sorry, I cannot maintain more. It's only one child. Then suddenly people start to understand. Krishna consciousness is not a sect. You know where the word sect comes from, linguistically? It's related to the word insect. It's something very small, insect. So in this regard, we are not a sect. No. This is very, very universal movement, actually. Because it's based on a universal philosophy. You know, in a religious line, there's a problem sometimes. People go, this is just another belief. There's no philosophy. You know, I have philosophical questions. You know, and they go, you must believe. If you don't believe, then you are heretic. You know, we never tell people, you must believe what we are saying. We are telling people, try to understand what we are saying. Prabhupada started his presentation like this. Ladies and gentlemen, please engage your intelligence, engage your brain. You know, yeah? And sometimes with the help of the intelligence and brain, you find out that it's very limited. That's a real realization. And how much you can know, gather knowledge with these senses. Yeah, you know, seeing, hearing, yeah, touching. What is it? Even a blind man can gather knowledge. He can touch. Yeah. But it's limited. And it's subjective. You know, you may feel something other person will not feel. I remember the experiment in physics. I don't know why they did that. They were asking us to put hand in a very warm water. And then they asked us to touch ice cold water. And it didn't feel ice cold at all because the hand was still warm. It felt like it's a little bit warm. But it was ice cold. That means wrong information. People challenge us. Well, you are talking here, okay, but show me. I want to see. I don't believe anything what I don't see. They have glasses. When I take off the glasses, I don't see you very clearly. Then probably you are like shadows. Yeah, maybe. I can speculate. How are you? When I have glasses, I go, oh, now I can see more. So what kind of argument is this? And people don't even understand that actually the eyes are also glasses. We are seeing through our eyes. But people have different eyes. Not only that, but generally you see what you want to see. It depends on your consciousness. I used the example yesterday. Somebody comes to Rijeka. Yeah? It's the same town. Rijeka. But it will be very differently perceived by different people. Some people come to the Rijeka to work. Some people come to Rijeka to enjoy. They will see the town very differently. Some people will see, oh, it's full of offices and I have to get to my job. Somebody may say, oh, it's full of girls, that's very nice. Somebody may think, I'm hungry. It's full of restaurants. It's very subjective, it depends on your consciousness. So this is not what we are basing our understanding of spiritual life. On our subjective perception. So it was Srila Prabhupada who showed us that we have to see with the eyes of the scriptures. It's called Shastra Chakshu. Yeah? That's the real vision. And the Vedic scriptures, that's the basis of this movement. That's the basis of all the preaching that we are saying. We are always quoting. You may not see a book in front of me, but whatever I'm telling you, you can find in a book. Yeah? And book, the Vedic scriptures, they will give you another vision. You know. Usually we see, you know, right now I can look around and I see older men, younger men, women, men. You know what the scripture is telling? We are not this. That's not us. We are not this body. The body is sitting here. But in the body, there's a soul. Now, what is a soul? There are so many ideas and people, you know. But most of the time, people think the soul is the mind. No. No. We are not even the mind. And you can know it. Just listen what you are saying. You can say, this is my mind. This is my body. My means automatically, it's not me. This is my table, this is my chair, this is my room, but I am not it. It doesn't require much intelligence to understand that. So the question is, who is me? People don't ask these questions. And all the problems and issues they are dealing with are based on this body. You know? Yeah. How do I feel, how the body feels. And what I think. And they do it either individually or congregationally. You know? Vote for me, I will make your bodies happy. That's the program. What does the body need? The Vedic scriptures define quite clearly. We are very analytical. Yeah? Vedic scriptures are very analytical. So what does the body need? Eating, sleeping, mating, and protection, defending. That's basically it. People think, oh, I have a good life. Yeah? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. It's interesting, when you get older, the mating is not so important. That goes down. But eating is always still very important. Sleeping, very important. And protection, of course. I'm a very well protected pensioner. Yes. Yeah? You can find it here on the coast. People go and also. Now I'm enjoying this. Good eating here. Yeah? There's good sleeping here. Yeah? And I feel protected. And then when you go to the section where the disco is and the young people are, yeah, then comes the mating. You know, I liked always when I came to these tourist places, when I had to go, I like to be always where the old people gather. Because it's more peaceful, you know. Mating can be very aggressive. And it creates an atmosphere where, you know, there's tension in the air. When you have older people, you know, they just go eating, sleeping, defending. Mating, too much work. It's too demanding. And you kind of go, I did it. Quite some problem. It can become a very big problem, mating. You know, the results of mating can be very complicated. Results of eating, well, you get a bad stomach maybe, yeah. Results of mating, you can work for the next 30 years. It's called family life. And it's okay. We are not against that. We are not denying these things. It's part of life. We are not denying this. The only what we learn from the Vedic scriptures is that you regulate this. No unrestricted. That's dangerous. The senses are compared with snakes. They're always out there. Very dangerous. Yeah, sometimes people look, they get attached, and they're only in trouble. But by looking. So, our process is, snakes are there, but no teeth, no biting. Regulating. And, after regulating, it's called purifying. Purifying means you engage them with a higher consciousness. I mean, right now we are also engaging our senses. We are seeing, we are hearing. That's sensual activity. But the result is very different. As if you go tonight downtown Rijeka and you're seeing and hearing and, you know, you become agitated. It's amazing. People are seeking enjoyment and they get more agitated. And we are also seeking enjoyment. But in a way we become more peaceful. That means in Krishna consciousness, with understanding of God's presence, God's nature, God's activities. All this was given to us by Srila Prabhupada, who came to the West with these books. For him, you know, the only thing he brought with him was not a big trunks of furniture or his own personal belongings. He brought with him 3 trunks of books, which he himself published in a very difficult way in India, and he brought them to the West. It's called Srimad Bhagavatam. So, that was what he brought with him. And that was his major purpose to come here. What was the purpose of the books? To read and understand. And sometimes we saw it. It can still happen. People read one book, whatever book. It changes their whole life. What to speak of religious books? I mean, how many people's life got changed by Bible? Many people changed by just coming in touch with Bible. Many people changed by coming in touch with Quran. And certainly many people changed by coming in touch with Bhagavad Gita. That's our book. So a book is very powerful. Prabhupada gave an example. He said, the reason the communists became so successful because they were very expert in book publishing. They understood the power of book publishing. I grew up in a communistic country, okay? And when I was a small boy, I grew up in Czechoslovakia. On any event, any occasion, you got a book. Even a good worker, in the factory, when he was rewarded, he got a book. And workers are usually not known as people who read the whole day. Everybody had their own big library. I remember that. I grew up with books, all kinds of books. For me, they were like personalities. When you're a small boy, I just opened a book and I was in another world. Yeah. Some books I was even afraid of. Some books I opened and I especially like the illustrations, of course, because I'm a little bit graphical man, so some books were scary, some books were exciting, Even today in Prague, when you drive subway, it's a big city, subway, half of the people will stand there with a book. During the ride, driving to the work, and they will read a book. It's still going on. In times of internet and all kinds of things, yeah. But usually not the real young people. It's the middle-aged people and the older people. I am meeting in Czech Republic nowadays. I meet older ladies. They are reading all the time. There's even in Czech Republic, they have a habit. If you find a book, you read it, you don't want to have it. So you put it in a box in the park, a special box for that. Or you put it in a train station, a special library. And other people come and they go, yeah, okay, and they can, for free, just take the book and go on a train and read. The book. This is all the time. This is one of the major purposes of the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Book production and book distribution. He said, you are interested in Krishna? Read the book. You may have some problem with the people. That's possible. We are never saying, look, we are all Hare Krishna. We are perfect. That will be not very honest statement. But we can boldly say, we have perfect books. So if you have some problem, read the book. And the books are full of information. So on basis of the book, you can also judge the people who present the book. Because they should not live in contradiction with the book. Like our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada did. You can go to anybody, Hare Krishna, oh, I read your book. In that book, it's stated one shouldn't do certain things. Why are you doing these things? You can go like this. You can verify Hare Krishna. Are you following your book? And if he doesn't, it doesn't matter how he's dressed or how he looks like. He's not a Hare Krishna. No. He looks like Hare Krishna, but he's not a Hare. That's the way Srila Prabhupada was presenting this movement. So many people can read so many things and quote so many things and present so many things. Like you hear now, I'm saying here, I'm sitting here. You may like it or not like it, whatever, but you think, oh, okay. But that's not all. You should check out who is talking here. Why should I believe what you are saying if I don't know who you are? I remember I got married in Sweden. I was long time in North in Sweden. And we have our own marriage ceremony. We do. It's a part of the culture. But for the legal reasons also. I was married actually in a Swedish church. you know. And the priest came, there was nobody there. I didn't have a big marriage. It was just me, my wife, and the priest. And the priest was okay with that. So he was going, okay. It was just for him, was a job. So he said, okay, we get married. So, you know, we have the rings, okay. And then there was a part of his marriage was that actually he was supposed to say something, give a lecture. But when he saw me looking like this, and my wife looking like that, he said, I will not give any lecture. He said, you are already sincere seekers of God. I will not say anything. And I found out actually, he didn't have much to say. He was just doing his things. And out of fun, after the marriage, I asked him, I have a book for you. It's called Bhagavad Gita. And he knew actually Bhagavad Gita. I said, yeah, I heard about it. It's a very famous book. I said, so I give you a Bhagavad Gita, you can give me a Bible. And he said, Bible? Sorry, we don't have it here. I was going, okay. It's in Sweden. I'm speaking about Sweden. I could tell you I don't want to go more on that subject, but I could tell you amazing experiences I had in the churches of Germany. Yeah. Because I used to travel my whole life. Since I'm 18 years old, I'm on the road, I'm traveling, practicing Krishna consciousness. So as when I was young, we traveled, you know, distributing these books and this. So every night, we had to stay somewhere. And going in a hotel, that was too high expense. No hotel. So we're thinking, we are men of God. So we knocked on the doors of the church. And in Germany, every church actually has a little hotel to it. You know, for traveling preachers. They're quite good equipped. And they didn't know. We were new. There was a new movement. They never saw a man like this. They're going, oh, you're monks. Yeah, of course, you can stay overnight. You can stay here. And it became like a regular thing. Both Protestant and Catholic. I don't want to go now in detail what was going on in these places. You know, Protestant was more, I would call it the disco type. I'm not joking. They had Protestant discos. Yeah. You know. But the Catholic, they were very firm. And we created relationship to some of these Catholic priests, old men, you know. Some of it was very inspiring. I remember one of them, he was operating a small church in a small town. And he saw us getting up early, meditating. We have our rosary, you know. Yeah, meditating here. Here. So when he saw us with this, he goes, what is this? And we told him, this is just a bag, but inside we have this. And he goes, oh, I know that. I have one too. And he pulled the rosary out. So he was chanting on his rosary. And we were chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, every morning together. And then we went in a church. It was empty, early morning. And he said, we have our ceremony here. What kind of ceremony do you have? And he said, well, we have also ceremony. Every morning we have a ceremony. We have a certain prayers we recite every morning. And we play music to it. He said, me too. He said, I have an organ here. big organ in a church, organ. He said, I sometimes sit on the organ and I pray and I play, religious songs. I told him, well, we do it too. And he said, can you show me? So I said, okay. So he was in the church down there. And I was first time sitting on this, but it was quite a simple version. So I pulled the register, going, how do you operate this? And he said, well, it's two ways. You can go like this with the feet, or it's actually electric application too. It just goes, So I put the switch on. I was playing in the church, Samsara dava nalalida Lord. It's all prayers, And devotees were going, ah, And what happens to us when you pray in Krishna consciousness, you find yourself dancing very often. Because the first symptom of an authorized religion, you become happy. We don't see much of this in the religious traditions, isn't it? Unfortunately. But even I know it's recorded, that the first followers of Jesus, how are they named? They were chanting names. Of whom? Allah, Jehovah, all this. And you know what they did? They were dancing, like us. They're playing cymbals, like us. It's recorded. That one of the symptoms, when you follow an authorized religious path, you become very happy. Hare Krishna generally is known like the happy people. They're on the street singing, dancing. This is actually called enlightenment. You become happy. Why? Because you more realized, actually I don't belong to this material world. I belong to God. And this material world is also creation of God. We don't deny it. But it's temporary. And the message of all the religions you find is the same. We have to go back home, back to God. That's where we belong. But people forget that. They go, yeah, but I like it here. And God should be here. Come here. Come here. I don't want to go to God somewhere. No, He should come here. And He should make this world a happy place for us. Now you'll find the message clearly defined, scientifically described in our books. This will never happen. This is a place where you are born, you grow old, you get diseased, and you die. Not really a happy news, I was present at the birth of my daughter. Now, it is a very emotional moment. But I cannot say it was a truly happy moment. If you want to find out, go to a place where children are born. The mothers are not like, I'm giving birth to a child. It's very demanding. They are like, and the child is coming out, not really smiling. The child doesn't come out thinking, hello, how are you? I'm happy, baby. The child comes out. But people go, at the end, when everything is finished and the blood is cleaned out and everything, they go, so nice, and you baby, not exactly corresponding to reality. But it is a happy thing. A new person entered. A welcome, a new guest. Definitely. It's a very special thing. But our scriptures inform us. The moment you are born, you are already dying. It's just a question of time. devotee said to Srila Prabhupada once, this country has a serious problem. Somewhere in Africa, there is a 60% death rate. 60% people are dying. And Prabhupada said, what are you talking about? There is always 100% death rate. Just a question of time. They die earlier maybe or later, but you will die. It's unavoidable. And it's not a happy news. We don't want to die. Nobody wants to die. Why? It's not natural. We are not supposed to die. So we get the happy news through our books, who inform you, you are not this body. The body grows old, the body will get sick, the body gets born, fine. And the body will die, but not you. You will go on to another body. And it's not very difficult to understand. Because when we ask people, how did you get into this body? They go, well, I was born to my parents. Okay, how did they get into their bodies? And how did the grandparents get into their bodies? And who started the whole thing? Where is it coming from? Who started the whole process? Body, 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 from body to body. Who started the whole thing? It's just the rational thinking. People have no answers for this. You know, there are so many questions we have. Some people get upset with us. You know, you have all the questions always. Why are you asking so many questions? And then you have all the answers. That's suspicious. Seems like you know everything. And we go, no. But we read our books and you find everything there. We can say very boldly, please try to read our books. You find lots of answers there for amazing things. But people prefer to live in ignorance. Actually, people like ignorance. They have a saying in Czech for this. I don't know in Croatian if it exists. But I don't know. Doesn't concern me. So you tell them, but maybe you should know that. No. I don't want to know it. When I know it, then I start to think about it. Or maybe I will find out things I don't want to know. So I rather go to the beach here, you know. And I will just lie there. You know. You can try to go on a beach and tell people, ask people some very simple questions. Sorry, my dear sir, I see you are enjoying yourself here. Do you know who you are? What kind of stupid question is this? This is my passport. Okay. This is my name. This is my nationality. It's me. I go, really? But you know, the nationality can be changed. The name too. A girl is born with this name, she gets married and she has another name. Does it mean she changed? No. Just a change of name. And what happens when you lose the passport? Means you died or what? They go like, what is stupid? But they never think about this thing. Especially here in these Balkan countries, when I come here. It's so ridiculous. People saying, I'm Croatian. Yeah, but the grandmother came from Serbia. And Bosnia, and all, it's all mixed up here. But they always the flag. By our flag. You know, I would dare to go that far. There's not one pure breed Croatian living in this country. But they are so proud. Nationality. You know? Starting with the fact. You know how many times this place has got run over by Turks? Many times. It's historically proven. You know, and every country, every army, unfortunately, does one thing. They are raping the local ladies. That's all armies do that. So many children coming up. Yeah? So, regarding in body, you know. And you see, this is the wonderful thing in this movement. We ultimately don't care what kind of body people have. Black body, white body, this body, that body. No. This is the real United Nations. Because you don't care. We care how much people are interested in the, you know, in the spiritual process. It's a process. Process of self-realization, the real self. The next question you can ask the gentleman on the beach. Do you know where you come from? Well, I come from Split. I just, you know, I'm now in Zadar and tomorrow I go to Rijeka. So why are you asking this? That's not what we mean. We mean, do you know really your origin, where you came from? And again, we are the same thing. I come from my father, from my mother, and from my grandfather. And where do they come from? Who was the original father? The original grandfather? The original mother? That's important to know. Who started this whole thing? And do you know where you go? You go, well, you know. Do you know where your life goes? And most people will say very boldly, I don't care. I'm enjoying now. You know, I was many years spending in Germany. They are confronted with a very simple German logic. You can ask any man on the street, why are you working so hard? Germans are known. Work. And you go, why are you working so hard? And they go, I have to eat. And then I have a place to sleep. It costs money, you know. And you go, so why are you working? And why are you sleeping? Why are you eating and why are you sleeping? Well, because I have to work. If I don't sleep and don't eat, I cannot work. Then why are you working? So I can eat and sleep. Why are you eating and sleeping? So I can work. You see, that's all. You know, when you look how animals are living, they do the same. Much easier. They don't have to pay the rent. You know, but essentially they do the same. They fly around the birds the whole day with the food and picking here and there, and, you know, and then they go and sleep in some tree. And regarding reproduction, no problem. No need of dating on the internet or something. No needed. You know, they just go singing and there's some male, female, goes on all the time. I saw it once in India. It's amazing. In India they have amazing birds. It was a male bird, you know, very small bird like this. They're beautiful small birds. And they can build from a palm tree a house. They collect fibers and they weave them together in such an artistic form. A little bird just flies around and it's hanging down from the branch, and then they make a cocoon out of it. A little house with a little entrance inside. That's the nest. And it's hanging there. Beautifully constructed. That's just the intelligence, you know, and all this. By saying this, I was going, why is he doing that? Well, when he was ready, he was sitting there singing. female bird of the same sort arrived. And she was like, accidentally passing by. You know? But she was always flying around him. And he goes, he really upgraded his singing. And then it was agreed. She will move into the house. And she moved in, and you know what she did the first thing? She really attacked the house. She was poking on it and pulling, and the house was going to test it if it's good. And when the female bird found, it's a solid house. It's a solid man. That's our home. I don't want to go more in detail. But it's interesting how females can switch from single number to plural number. Very quick. The male bird goes, it's a nice female, but it's me. And it's here. And then the female comes flying and it goes, it's us. And the male realizes, oh, now we are us. It's us. And then soon there's a small X lying in the house. Very powerful. I was hearing storm came. And the house was flying with the X inside. And the female is sitting on it, protecting the X. You know, it didn't fall down. Very, very amazing construction. By watching this, I was thinking, well, what's the difference between a human society and a bird society? Not so different. It's the same mechanism, same going on. Just humans make life so complicated. They complicate lives, you know. I feel, then I say. But at the end, it's just the eggs, you know. The eggs and the little birds come out. And both parents are flying and feeding and... And you know what the little birds will do when they grow up? They will just fly away. That's it. It doesn't sound like very romantic, but it is actually it's actually, when you are in Krishna consciousness, it's actually very inspiring to see this. You know why? Because this is how God arranged things. And the only thing we have to do is to follow God's command. That's called harmony. People always speak about harmony. Harmony. You have to be harmonious, peaceful. You know what harmony is? In graphical sense, it's a circle. And you know what comprises a circle? It's a central point. If you don't have a central point, you don't have a circle. And you may not see the point even. You know, when you make a circle, you will not see the central point, but it's the essential point. Without the point, there is no circle. And what is the circle is actually a collection of points. And what do they have, these points in common? They have the same distance to the center. And then you got a circle. A very nice, harmonious circle. So that means life in Krishna consciousness. Harmonious circle around God in the center. And this is the knowledge and this is the message Srila Prabhupada brought to us. And he showed it by his example, by creating an international society with all kinds of people. He was traveling 10 times around the globe, all the time, contacting all kinds of people, young, old, He was constantly public. He was a completely public person. And so many people got interested in Krishna consciousness and became part of it in various ways. The example of a circle looks like, oh, we are all the same points in a circle, right? No, this is a very multicolored circle Prabhupada created. But with the same central point. Therefore, he was so successful because he could show to everybody, first of all, originally, you are all part of God. That's where we come from. But we forgot. So now we have to remember again. Oh, you are part of God, I'm part of God. God in the center. And what is the relationship between the parts of God and God? Service. You have to serve God. It's a problem if you don't know what God is. That's a problem because what are you serving? So Prabhupada showed us, this is God. And this is how you can serve Him. According to your nature, according to your individual personality, this is how you can serve Him. All together we can serve God in the center. That He showed us. And when people said, but I already have my God. Prabhupada said, good. Do you know how He looks like? No. Do you know where He lives? No. Do you know how to relate to Him? Not really. Prabhupada said, we can show you. We know God, we know His address, we know the way to approach Him, we know what He wants. We can do that. Well, I don't believe it. Okay, that's your choice. We didn't ask anybody to believe it. We asked everybody to try it out. You know how I joined this movement? I was 18 years old. I said, I will try it out. You know, and there were so many reservations I had in the back of my mind. I was going, I saw other movements already by that time. And I saw people being cheated. Obviously, very obviously being cheated. So I said, maybe it's just another cheating. Who knows? But what convinced me first was the example of those who were practicing it. We don't ask people, try to chant Hare Krishna. We ask people, try to chant Hare Krishna. But what do we do? We chant Hare Krishna all the time. That's why we can ask people, try it out. It's like somebody eating, you know. And somebody goes sitting there, anywhere, and you pass by, you're a little bit hungry. And you go, you know, just imagine, you walk on a beach, there's many restaurants. People sit in public, okay, and eat. Just imagine you pass by a restaurant, they're all eating. And just imagine you pass a restaurant, they're all eating. Mwah! You know, wow, please can you bring more? This is really good. All of them. You think, oh, maybe it's a good restaurant, you know. Maybe I should try it out. Maybe I should have a little taste. You know? So this is the only way that we can offer to people. Hey, it tastes good. It has the most wonderful philosophy. It has so much knowledge to get. And by the time you have it, or you even try it, even a little portion, you become happy. Try now. And people look and go, are you happy? Well, I would be honestly saying, according to the circumstances, yes. Why? Because this material world is a place you have plenty of opportunities to become miserable. So is there, yeah? They go like, you act like you think you don't get sick. You think you will not die. It's horrible. And we know, yes. We get also sick. Not so much actually. I don't want to really illustrate, like being autobiographic. But I could challenge actually somebody with that. Just crossed my mind. I'm a 70 years old man. Now you're going Rijeka around, you find a 70 years old man who acts like this. Try it. I cannot find him. I go, how are you? And they go, eh. And they go, how old are you? 55. I go, whoa! He looks like 100 years old man. I know, it's just a physical thing, okay? This is external, you could say external. But it's a kind of interesting observation, you know. And you know what happened? Srila Prabhupada came to the West. He was, what, 65? Huh?
9.
Huh?
69.
69 years old man. Old Indian man. Comes on a boat. Not an airplane. He had no money for airplane. So he got a free passage with the boat. On the boat, he got 2 heart attacks. Almost died. But he was so determined to bring this knowledge to the West because his spiritual master told him to do that. So he almost died. And he came to a country he never ever came to. He couldn't even understand what are the people doing here. He spoke English, okay. He was accommodated in an Indian family, and he just walked around observing what are they doing here in this country. He never saw a refrigerator in India. It didn't exist at that time. He never saw snow. When the first snow came, he was going, who painted the walls white? You know, and this was all new to him. He knew only one thing. I am on the right track. I am doing what my spiritual master told me. And even I die, but at least I did something. I tried. He brought his books. He said, if I would just distribute his books and die, I did something, which nobody did before. But then it started to come. He came in his 60s in America, which was really a place exploding. Hippies, everybody, drugs, everything. It was just flying. So he came into this chaos. And the chaos was in his favor. Because to actually come close to Krishna consciousness and understand Krishna consciousness, you have to get detached from what you heard before, from your established type of understanding. You have to be open-minded. And these hippies were open-minded. They were like, well, why not? Let's try it out. Same way I joined, I was not a hippie. I didn't took any drugs and I was not chasing girls. I was disqualified. You know, if you didn't do that, you were not bona fide hippie. No drugs, no girls. But I was open-minded. I said, why not try this out? And soon I found out, this is not just some joke or some fashion. You know, no. This is something which really I can experience. I cannot even describe you. The first day I was dressed like this. They put me on a street. Now you go and preach. I was going, preaching what? I just came here. They were going, no, you dress like Hare Krishna and you go, Hare Krishna, that's preaching. I was going, that's really simple. Yeah, because it's simple, do it. So I came on the street and I remember, first day it was, I felt like I'm dreaming. I was not ready for this. You know, before I joined this movement, I was a very shy and very silent boy. And I joined in Germany in 1972. That was not the Germany today. Now in Germany you can go on the street, you can dress like anything, you can look really crazy, and they go, yeah, another immigrant, some kind of immigrant. People are used to anything nowadays. Those days it was not like all of this. It was still Germany, very German, German values. And we are back again, German economy. And then they say, who is this? They call police immediately. Germans like to call police. Police, police. There's a crazy man with a bedsheet here standing on the street. Yeah? They're completely unprepared for that. And actually, I was not prepared either. But I said, no, I will not go back. Enough of dreaming, enough of... I had no idea what will be my life about. What is the goal of my life? We all have to be motivated to do something, right? You need to be motivated. If you are not motivated, you cannot live. So I was going, what was my motivation? I saw people following the path I maybe want to walk. They all end up in a ditch. They were all in a bad shape. For various reasons. It was going, not very inspiring. I saw preachers coming, going, follow this path. Then I saw, following where? What is the goal? And they were going, no goal, just follow me. I'm going, well, that doesn't sound very convincing. There's blind followership, you know? Blind followership means you just follow and you don't know where it goes. I want to know where I go. Then I met devotees. Young devotees. It was the beginning of the Hare Krishna movement in Germany. They told me, that's what we are, that's what we do, and that's where we go. I was going, oh, at least somebody has some goal, you know, somebody knows where to go. That was already very convincing to me. And they looked so convinced. I asked them, how long do you are practicing this bhakti yoga? They're going, 2 years. And they looked like they practiced the whole life. It was so convincing. And above all, they were all very, very happy. Very enthusiastic. And I was not so happy and not so enthusiastic. I remember to come to the speed of this. You know, we are young people, you know, all young people. And young people usually, they are running. They are doing passion. Yeah. So just to come up to the speed of these people, it was a really hard endeavor. I was like, yeah, that's very nice. And they were going, we have to serve God now, here, we have so much to do today. And I was like, phew, it's like in the army here, you know, attack, you know, you know. Then I was like, I was going, what kind of speed is this? Because they were so enthusiastic. But that's passion. Later on I realized more, these are young people. Older people are a little bit more slower, and sometimes for right reasons. Because they consider more the consequences of your action. That slows you down. When you are young, you don't consider much of consequences of your action, you just do it. Then you realize, oh, that was stupid. Then you do something else. Yeah, so old people are more like that. Doesn't matter. So life in Krishna consciousness can be very, very exciting. According to one's own position. You don't ask people to run around, you know, and do this and do that. You just ask people, try the process. Get in touch with the process. Chanting Hare Krishna, that's where everything starts. And then see what happens. God is person, supreme person. And we are his parts, individual persons. So God has a place for everybody. And he has also an individual path for everybody. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am in the heart of every person. God is in everybody's heart. I think it's even understood by other religions as well. God is in my heart. Yeah, the question is, what is he doing there? Maybe he's talking to you. and you don't hear. So try to hear what God is saying. How do you learn that? So described in Bhagavad Gita. We need guidance for that, yes. It's amazing, in a material world, whatever you do, you need a teacher. But it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter what you do, but you need a teacher. But some people think that for spiritual life you don't need a teacher. It's the most sublime, sophisticated science, and suddenly you don't need a teacher. Of course you need a teacher. And we started this whole small presentation to describe who the real teacher is. So without Srila Prabhupada coming and teaching us by his example, by his words, by his books, we wouldn't be able even to sit here today. I don't know anything. This is not my idea even to sit here. Actually, it was a little bit my idea. I wanted to come here. But I tell you quite frankly, I wasn't so sure how I come here or when I come here. And suddenly I was thinking, well, I will try. And there are different regions. I traveled my whole life. And there are regions you can come to, nobody will even notice you came. There are such places. You just come there and nobody will even take notice. It's called Scandinavia. You know? But there are regions you go to, everybody will notice. For good or bad. Some people will say, oh, he is he again. Some people will say, oh no, he is he again. It doesn't matter, but you will be noticed. And that's usually what happens to me when I go direction east, Balkan countries, Slavian countries. You get very quickly noticed. Not only that, but you can communicate. Just acoustically spoken. You can go to, I come from Sweden sometimes, yeah? You know what the dominant feature in Sweden is? It's a place of absolute silence. You come enter a big country, totally silent. You can even enter a room full of Swedish people. You know what will happen? It's silent. Nobody will say anything. And you look at the people and you go, are they living? Maybe they are just made from wax, so I don't know. In Sweden you can sometimes go and going, hello. You know what the response will be? Nothing. You go, oh, hey. You know, here I can go anywhere. People don't know me, I don't know them. I can go, hola, and they go, hola, and you go, maybe they start to talk even to me. Can happen. When I come from Sweden, I have to first go on a boat. You have to cross the ocean. 5 hours boat. It's a Polish boat. You know, yeah. And already by going on a boat, it's full of Polish cars coming from Sweden, It's an incredible change. I parked the car on a boat, and you cannot stay in a car, you have to get out of the car. So you have to go to the common room, sit somewhere with people, Polish people. They go, depends, the females are more higher tune and the males are more lower tune, but they talk all the time. 5 hours. And I enjoy it. I don't understand one word. And I go, hey, there's people, they are alive here. And there's, and sometimes it looks like they are arguing. No, this is just a question of communication. And I go, okay, now I'm back again in a place I could talk to somebody even about Krishna consciousness. Why not? I can talk actually to anybody, about anything. But we will end up talking about Krishna, I can assure you that. Because when you talk to people, you find out they're very similar problems, very similar issues they are dealing with. And it's very easy to switch to our philosophy because it's so universally applicable. It deals with facts of life. It deals with issues which is concerning everybody. So therefore we are not a sect. We are not some insect somewhere. No. We can talk to everybody about anything. They think sometimes, this is monks. They are sitting somewhere, chanting, meditating, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then they are surprised. Hey, they are normal people. You can talk to them. And you know what? You can talk to them about anything. And it's not a big problem, because that's what we learned from Srila Prabhupada. He was an old Indian man in a foreign environment, talking to completely foreign people, and he talked in such a beautiful way they became Krishna conscious, God conscious. There may be some questions or some things. I was warned when I do this. He said, no, you shouldn't do like that. Because people listen and suddenly they have to ask a question. And they go, about what? I said, no, you should warn them. In 5 minutes there will be questions. Actually, it's a fact. I forgot to do that. Because actually we all do have a question. But sometimes we don't know which one is relevant. We don't know if we can ask even such a question. Some people are really afraid to ask questions because they think, what about if I get an answer I don't expect? Yeah, that's a fact. So we don't want to intimidate people. We fully respect, no questions, okay. But essentially we all carry questions around. Everybody has some question.
I have a question. I
Huh?
have a question in English. You will tell me stories how you joined Hare Krishnas and the young people been very enthusiastic. But what is real enthusiasm?
Huh?
What is real enthusiasm?
Yeah, that's a good question. We see sometimes, like I joined a movement full of enthusiastic people. But what the real enthusiasm is, well, that was revealed as the time progressed. People can be enthusiastic for all kinds of reasons. Okay? And Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, there are many people who will approach me enthusiastically. Those who are in pain, those who are curious, just curious, those who are in need of money, and those who seek transcendental knowledge. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, they are all dear to me because they come to me. But the ones who seek transcendental knowledge, they will last longest. They will be really enthusiastic, more longest. Why? Well, because those in pain, when they stop suffering, then sometimes they go away. They go, well, yeah, good, I feel good, bye-bye. Those who are curious, their curiosity will be satisfied. They go, oh, it was interesting, bye-bye. And those who need in money, or let's say some economical basis, place to sleep, something to eat, you may get it. They go, but that's not enough. I want a better place to sleep and better place to eat. And they leave too. But those who seek the knowledge, this is endless. In Krishna consciousness, if you study our books and this, you find the endless information ever new issues and new information. It never stops. So that gets exciting, and that keeps you enthusiastic. So that's the reason why some people come and some people go again. They have no means to keep people. Sometimes in Germany it was a big propaganda. The sect is capturing people and they cannot get out. Sometimes I was thinking, I wish it could be like that. This man goes out and he gets so much in trouble. Basically they go back to the drugs consumption or make problems. They get in trouble. And you think, no, don't go out. Here you are safe. They go out anyway. You cannot stop it. Even Srila Prabhupada had disciples, and when you are a disciple that actually means somebody who promises, I will stay here, I will do this. But even they left sometimes. And Prabhupada said, if God cannot stop you, what can I do? We have an individual freedom. Everybody who came here tonight came on his own will. And everybody can go again. Anytime. Anytime. What can I do about it? You don't have a man on the door, When you want to go home now, you think, this is enough of this, we go now. You go back. We don't have anything like this. And we cannot bribe people. You can stay here, I will give you 20 euros. First of all, we don't have 20 euros, and second of all, people are saying, that much? I go anyway. You cannot bribe people. So this is for sincere people, serious people. And that seriousness will be shown in due course of time. They ask me sometimes, and why didn't you leave? So many left. Why didn't you leave? And I said, to be honest, I have no idea where to go. Can you tell me where to go? Some idea. Give me some idea. I should stop now doing this and I will do something else, something better. So give me an idea what is better. In 50 years, nobody could tell me what is better. I'm serious. And I'm listening. But, give me some better idea. They go, but when you do this, you become more happy. I said, okay, then show me people who did that and they are happy. I don't see them being happy. You are cheating me. It's an empty promise. I don't believe it. Because I'm here, I want to be here. But I tell you, if tomorrow I will find something better, I will stop doing this. I can't find anything. No place to go. And I was in Krishna consciousness. I had various positions, various services. In 50 years, you collect some record. I was a married man. I was a monk. That's how I started. And we have a process for that. We say, better is to become a miserable monk. Better you get married in Krishna consciousness. We have the option. You can still practice Krishna consciousness. God is not just for monks. God is for everybody. So even we have a process where you can, in different stages of your life, you can regulate your life in different ways. I was a happy monk. And I was saved. You know why? You know how much nonsense you can do when you are 18 years old? Youth, what is youth? You have a young, fresh body, which allows you to do maximum sinful activity in minimum time. That's called youth, generally, today. Nonsense. And dangerous. Dangerous. You don't find actually so many very old gangsters, but you find always young gangsters and middle-aged. Just a joke, okay? You know, so you can really make you horse of when you are young. You know, so being monk was fantastic. I was under control, I was regulated, I got education, I got discipline. A little bit like going to the army, you know. Yeah, it is a little bit of this. Army has a function. I mean, I never was in the army, by the way, but for people who are not Krishna conscious, army has a certain function. You know, it teaches you discipline, responsibility, you know, and you cannot do too much nonsense. I'm not advocating army now here, okay? It's actually wasted time, but that's another thing. So, general devotees don't go to the army, okay? We are not, just for the sake to be trained to kill somebody. I don't want to get into it, but we are not advocating non-violence. We are not non-violent people. We are capable to be violent, but only for self-protection, for protecting, not for attacking. Yeah. So, and these boys who go into army, and some people like to go to army, because you go to the army, potentially you will be out there killing people. For what purpose? I don't want to go more into it. By today's wars and military conflicts are simply done for crooked, cheating, corrupted purposes. And people have to die for this. I don't want to, there's a whole science in our culture, how to make war. Yeah? We can even speak about that. You know? There's a whole science. Bhagavad Gita is spoken at the beginning of a big war. To a soldier. But that was very different war. First of all, there were only professional soldiers involved. No civilians, no women, no children, no pensioners, no old people. They were sitting at home. It was just professional soldiers. And there is more, a deeper reasons to that battle. But it looked like a big battle, yeah. But there was a deep reasons to that. I could go now for another hour on this. Anyway, so yes, so the principle behind the whole thing is that our actions have to be authorized. And I definitely was, my enthusiasm was like derived from the fact that I didn't have to go back to that boring life I had. That makes you enthusiastic. I tell you, in the last 50 years, I was not 1 minute bored in Krishna consciousness. I mean, if there is something, it wasn't boring for sure. I had a life, sometimes devotees ask me, my God, you have so many stories to tell. And everything. Why don't you write a book? I told him, impossible. You know how big that book would be? It would be a whole library. And I didn't do anything for that really much. I just lived life in Krishna consciousness. You know, having various services. I had my family. I had my family life means there is also some private sphere. We have it in Krishna consciousness. It's not like we are living like, you know, like, I don't know, some dictatorship there, this idea, you know, that family is just a breeding station for people, but they are living all, like ants, you know, no private room. But actually in Krishna consciousness, we respect the privacy of family life. Yeah? But it can be still practice Krishna consciousness. Like you can never stop, you don't have to stop chanting. You can always chant. Wife is chanting, husband is chanting. And you know what the children will do? They will maybe chant too, who knows? But again, it's their choice. We cannot order people to do that. So, yeah. Oh boy, I don't want to be more autobiographic. I could tell you stories day and night. If they would ask me, why did you came here now? Well, yeah, if I give you an honest answer, I don't know. They ask me, and when are you going, when you go again? From here. And I go, I don't know, over there. And they go, how can you live like that? When devotees ask me, where is your real home? I point to the car. It's actually my home. I can live in my car, you know. I made a little arrangement there. It's a small car, but I can survive in it. If I have to, I will survive in a car. I'm trained like that. They go, why don't you have a house? And I go, oh, I had 2 houses already. Thank you very much. House? Trouble. People always think I have a big house. They have a big problem. That's what they have. This you have to renovate. This you have to do. That you have to fix. Oh no, and this fell off. Oh. And you have to pay for it. No, this is my house. I'm not paying anything. Oh, you will pay the house tax and the water and the electricity and everything. Expenses. And after you work the whole life hard to maintain the house, and then you die in it. They will carry you out. And if you are lucky, the children will take care of the house. Maybe you are not lucky. They will just sell the house and waste the money away. Why not? Who can stop them? You cannot stop them because you are dead already. So, but it's fully respected. House. Okay, that's called, actually the translation of Grihastha, ashrama, is called householder. The one who holds the house. But the very old Grihastha tells you, I hold the house. No, the house holds me. And this is all very nice, because then you come to a point, you think, how nice would be have a simple life. And this is actually natural in the Vedic times, that people, when they get older, they simplify their lives. People think, simple life? This must be primitive. No, it's a luxury. It's a luxury to have simple life. Simple life means simple problem. There's always some problem. Some problem will be there, but it's simple. It's a simple logic. I mean, how many people I saw, practically spoken, when we speak about house, selling the house and getting a small apartment. You think, why are they doing this? It was such a beautiful house. No. It was a beautiful headache. And when you get old in a certain age, you think, no, I cannot do this anymore. And then they sit in the 2-room flat, and they go, ha ha, that's simple. You know, I clean in 10 minutes before I was cleaning the whole day. I'm not advocating that it has to be like that, but I deeply respect people who maintain big houses. I really do. But I understand why sometimes people are very happy in a small apartment. I mean, what do? You cook here, you sleep there, cleaning, 10 minutes, clean up. Washing windows. You have 2 windows. Before you had 20 windows. Washing windows. And I did it. I know what I did that. I had to renovate even houses, even I am not professional because I had no money. And I also felt it's really cheating. In Sweden, people call a company. Can you change the water tap in a bathroom? And they come, big van with a big sign. They go, that has to be professionally done. We have here water taps to choose from. One water tap, it costs like half of the car, You go, what? This is expensive. And they go, wow, it's a good quality. And Swedish people, they are possessed by good quality. You can sell them anything, when you say it's a good quality, they will buy it. Even it's made in China. And then the man comes, he has a big toolbox, like a workshop with him. He's dressed up in a professional dress, Water plumbing, amen. And he goes, And you pay 300 euros. Plus the water tap, which is 500 euros. He was working for 3 minutes and you pay 1,000 euros almost. When I saw this, I was going, well, I can do it myself, And I found out I can do it myself. There's so many things I found out. I can do it myself. I should pay to this rascal. Anyway, this has nothing to do really directly with Krishna consciousness, but it shows that we are not supposed to lose logic and common sense in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes people go, transcendental means you just lose all the common sense. No, Prabhupada was teaching that exactly opposite. Transcendental means you understand common sense. What is really important? How to do things simply, quickly, efficiently, solve the problem. Even that he showed us. And there is one very good consideration, which comes in the mind of anybody who actually is interested in Krishna consciousness. Sooner or later, you will start to think, do I need this? And they will tell you, of course you need this. The neighbor already has that, and he has it. Don't you see? Everybody has it. And you go, still the question remains, do I need this? And then very often, when you think about this, you find, no, actually I don't need it. So much nonsense people are buying and working hard to buy and acquire something they actually don't need. What do you really need? Prabhupada said, he taught us this. You need actually very simple things. You need to love somebody. Where do you buy that? And you want to be loved. Where do you buy that? How can you pay for this? There's no shopping center. They go, come here, special offer. We will love you and you will love us. Oh yeah, they sometimes say, we love you, we sell this to you. Yeah. It's all cheating. But where you buy love? And how do you find the ability to love somebody? But we need that. That's what we really need. Then Prabhupada said, we want to get something. Everybody was happy, I'm getting something. And we want to give something. And he didn't even say what. It's just a need. Even a big gangster, mafioso, who is killing people who get money, he becomes charitable too, He goes, I'm a big mafioso here. I stole all this, but you can take a little bit, yeah. He has a need, actually, to be charitable. People see, I just heard a story in Czech. It was on the internet. I just saw it briefly. There was a small boy of some parents, and he got such a difficult disease, small child, that he was doomed to die. The cure and the treatment, professional, was calculated would cost over 100 million Czech krona. That's a lot of money. But they made an advertisement. He became a really heavy campaign. This boy, small boy, is dying. Can somebody donate some money for his cure? You know how long it took them to collect 100 million Czech krona? 3 days. 3 days. He had 100 million krona in his bank account. And this is neat. People want to, nobody knew even that boy. But it's a good propaganda. You need a good propaganda for that. You know, in 3 days. There's such a need to be charitable. People are by nature not greedy. No. But you also want to get something. That's also nice. It's basic demands, basic needs. And how much and the money value of the whole thing is not so important. Sometimes gifts given out of love can be very simple. A boy gives a flower to a girl. Not a big gift. Actually, it's the same flower, they go everywhere. But let's say the girl really loves the boy. That flower is so special to her. She will even press it, dry it out, and keep it in a book. This was given to me by him. Yeah? That's the need. So money doesn't come into the picture. Not important. Money anyway. What is money? Today, just paper. Somebody prints paper. More money. We need more money. Okay, let's print more money. This is crazy economy. This is not real money. It's paper. So anyway. There's a Russian joke on this, you know that one? Somewhere in Siberia, 2 Russians are sitting in some wooden cottage, snow everywhere. And they are eating. In Russia they do it until today. They cook something, they put a big bowl in the middle, and everybody gets a spoon. They all eat like from the same bowl, the whole family like that. So these 2 Russians, they sit, with the coats, it's cold. And they sit, at the bowl, and they eat from the bowl. And one Russian said, "This tastes disgusting. I mean, what a kind of disgusting food you get for our ruble, for our currency." And the other guy goes, "Don't complain. This is the ruble." This is a joke. At the end, you just have to, you are so poor, you have to eat even the currency, You forgot to translate it. It's a joke. So much for the money. And it can lose value immediately. No problem. So people dedicate their whole life to this. You can find enjoyment on a very different levels. To find somebody you can trust, to find somebody you can love, and get the same thing in return, that's luxury. That's called luxurious life. And where you live or what you do, that's a secondary, that's not so important. But to find that, that's a luxury. That's a rich man and rich woman. Okay, no questions? Yeah?
I don't speak English so good, but
No problem, you can translate. Just you can go.
What is your opinion about giving money to the beggars on the street when nobody sees you?
Giving money to beggars in the street.
Yes, yes.
Bhagavad Gita? Our
Yeah.
book is clearly explaining.
Yeah, I have heard opinions, but
There's three kinds of charity. Three kinds. Charity given accidentally, unknowingly, to somebody I don't know. That's called actually charity in a mode of ignorance. I don't know the man, I don't know what he's going to do with the money. It's ignorant. Then it's a charity in a mode of passion which is motivated. We experience that some people gave the charity because they can deduct the money from the taxes. That's called mode of passion. And then there is a charity in a mode of goodness. You know, the man is in need. You know it's actually your duty to help. And then you know what he's going to use it for. Yeah? Ideally, you don't give charity to some drunkard on the street. Why? Well, he will buy more alcohol. You are helping him to die. So charitable. That's example, okay? So, and then there is is a last charity, which is the most long-lasting one. You help somebody to advance in spiritual life. That's a real charity. Even with money you can do that. Like, we are preaching, like we are sitting now in a place not for free. Even this place I heard is quite cheap, but it still costs money. It's a rented place. So, you have to pay rent. But it served the purpose of spiritual enlightenment. So that's transcendental charity. If somebody gives something. So this is clearly defined. I had once a Christian coming visiting, a Christian. And Christianity very strongly established, you have to help the next one. That's a good idea. But how? The man was so proud. I am really charitable. Who do you help? You. So I got a little bit provoked. So I asked him publicly, you are a good Christian. If a man tonight comes to your door, and he's a little bit dirty and badly dressed, and he goes, can I stay tonight here in your place? Will you accommodate him? He said, of course. Then you let him in. You give him food. And he asked, wouldn't you have some dress? It's a strange dress, but very torn out. The dress has even a number on it. So you give him a new dress, he goes, oh, that's very nice, thank you very much. Will you do that? He said, of course. Then he stays overnight. In the morning you give him breakfast and he will leave with a new dress. It's nice, isn't it? He said, yeah, I would help. Then you go, open the newspaper, eat your breakfast, and you find a photo of the man. It's a man who escaped from prison. It's a serial killer on the run. And you helped him to escape. So much for your charity. The man was quite angry, but he couldn't say anything. So this is called charity in ignorance. There's so much charity given Oh, we have to feed the poor children in Africa. It's a good idea. For what purpose? So they grow strong and become terrorists. Really? Oh, what happened? I'm not saying all of them, not at all, but it can happen. So our charity is, yes, Prabhupada was challenged like this too. We give, like example, we give food. We distribute sanctified food. That's a very important part of our mission. Srila Prabhupada said, in a circle of 40 kilometers in India, or actually 4 kilometers in India, of a temple, nobody should be hungry. The temple should feed. He said, you know why? Because even people come, he said, if they are hungry, they will not listen. What we have to say? Simple. I mean, you know that we actually don't know in the West what hunger really means. But in, there is parts of the world, people get really hungry. So how do you preach to such a person? You go, well, Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. He will not listen. You know why? Because he's thinking, hungry! Food. So Prabhupada said, first feed, then you talk. That's actually our program. First you distribute prasadam, sanctified food. When people are content, then you can give lecture. Maybe some of them will listen. There are actual locations, I experienced it myself, that people are obviously so agitated. They know we have every Sunday a program, it's a standard in all the temples, basically. That we have a meditation, chanting, singing, chanting, then comes lecture, and when we distribute together, we take prasadam, sanctified food. Yeah? But some people think, I'm hungry. Or they just think, I want to eat. When it becomes so, congregation is so agitated. I remember I was once preaching in a city of Berlin. We got very far out public. I'm not going to talk about the public in the city of Berlin at that time. So I noticed they were so agitated. They knew there would be a good food at the end. So they couldn't even listen properly. They were like, okay, come on, I'm finished. So what did we do? First we were feeding everybody, and then the program started. Some people left because they just came for the food. But actually most people stayed. Because they had eaten and they were happy, and then they could meditate and hear. People are sometimes like that. But we are practical. We can adjust. We are very, very adjustable how to disseminate Krishna consciousness. That's real charity. That's so much for giving somebody something on the street. Once I met a lady on the street. She even told me, last week I met you actually on the street here, and I bought your book from you. Yeah? And then now I don't have really any money. Will you give me now something? I was going, yes, for what? And she was honest. I want to drink some coffee and get a cigarettes. For her, that was her life. She didn't even think about it. I said, you know what? I will give you nothing. She was upset. He said, why? He said, for cigarettes? Forget it. It's killing you. It's stating on a package, It's written on a package. I will not give you money for that. But if you want to eat something nice, and just come with me to my car, I can give you something nice to eat. She didn't do that. She wanted the cigarettes. No cigarette. We are not distributing cigarettes. We are not giving money for something which kills people. Ah. It's an example. Yeah? So this is our concept of charity. We are living for that purpose. It's called non-profit organization, right? You heard this? Non-profit organization. Like I give you an example. We have here got devotees who actually don't have to be here. They work, they get some income, they have houses. Do you know of anybody here? You know? The Ishwarana Prabhu. I know him since how long? 20 years. Something 20 years. Every day he works. And he has a house. We have here, Jagan. I still have the whole thing. Jagan Maya Hari Prabhu. He doesn't have to sit here. Can I say it? It's not embarrassing, right? Can I? Do I have permission? He's the owner of a hotel. He could just sit in a garden all tonight in a hotel and watching the guests coming in, paying for the rooms, and leaving again. Why is he doing it? You know that he's getting actively involved here. He's spending time to help others to be able to be engaged in this project. You know what he gets for that? Nothing. No payment. Nothing. His wife is assisting him. They are working for this here. What do they get out of it? Nothing. Sometimes you get even trouble. It's not easy to manage something which you don't own actually. Like when a guest in his hotel make trouble. There is a clear, on the wall, in every room, there's a clear description what a guest should do and what he cannot do. I don't find such a paper here hanging on the wall. And sometimes people come here and do all kinds of things. And he can do nothing about it. Because it's not his place. In his hotel, he can say, well, my dear sir, it's written on the wall, you are doing it, stop it. And when he goes, no, I will not stop it, then he'll get out. Simple. I like even the one last point you made. It's actually stating, if you don't follow these rules, don't expect any money to get back. We will throw you out anyway. I gave now a rough version of that thing. It's more nicely expressed. I like that point. Huh?
Suzanne make it.
You invent it? Very good. It's very honest. These are rules you don't follow. You will not even get the money back you paid. Get out. You are clearly informed. This place doesn't work like this. He is not the owner. There is rules. There are rules, but not that clearly defined, not that heavily defined. And nobody owns really the place. And there are people coming here. They act like they own the place. Amazing. They come here and Krishna is everywhere. I am also part of Krishna. I can do whatever I want here. Is Krishna's temple? Yeah. Without knowing the rules. There are rules. Krishna himself establishes rules. Srila Prabhupada established rules. This is not a do what you like movement. No. But we are helpless sometimes. We go, please, understand. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada said, you cannot do this. And they go, it's your opinion. Not my opinion. It's in a book. Now, there are different natures. There are devotees, some members of this movement who will go, okay, now we have to pray to God. This is a crazy man here coming in. Krishna, please remove him. I am not that kind of person. I removed him even without praying. Devotees ask me sometimes, I know you are a little bit of a different nature. Can you remove him? I cannot do that. And I said, I can, anytime, no problem. Because I knew this is what Krishna says, this is what Prabhupada said. It's not possible here. No, we are not going to do it. And you take a risk. What about if I'm wrong? Then I have a trouble. Maybe you should make something. Maybe your wife should make some list for the temple here. Same list. It's possible. I had a list like this. I was once organizing a community of devotees. And we had such a thing hanging on the wall. This community has this and this and this rules. You want to be part of it? You are most welcome. You violate the rules, you cannot be part of it. I remember these points. I can give you the list from the head, because I wrote it. One of them was no violence towards women. That was one of these. It was quite detailed. So, you commit this, we can, one incident, we can talk about it. 2 incidents, no talk, out.
10 or more.
Huh?
Here was 10 or more accidents before, a few years ago.
But we have essentially,
6 years.
such list is already given by Prabhupada. It does exist actually, in essence. But it is to be authorized. It cannot be some concoction of somebody. If you come in a temple, there's a list. If you don't like me, get out. First point. Then okay, this is liking, not liking. What do you mean not liking? No, this is not a rules. This is some idea. It cannot be a rule. If you don't like me, get out. Anyway, this is just a jokes. No? Yeah? There are so many things we can talk about. So many issues. Yeah?
Good. What about organs transplantation? What is the attitude of Krishna consciousness towards organs that are being
Towards what?
Organ transplantation.
organ transplantations, when people
Getting new livers,
New
kidneys.
livers.
Translation of organs.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
what about that?
It's just a technical change.
Is it moral?
We are not, let's say, we are now speaking, you are speaking in general terms. For us, it's a more specified issue. Like example, we have somebody who dedicated his life to Krishna. He's using his body for Krishna. Okay? Yeah? That body becomes very valuable also to others. Because he's helping others to serve Krishna. Now let's say some of his organ has to be replaced in that body. Why not? I know examples of that. Oh, I know an example of one of my godbrothers. Well, due to his past, before he came to Krishna consciousness, he already came, this coming from drug consumption, damaged liver. And that damage increased when he was getting older. It came to the point he had to have a... Liver is something you can replace, actually. There are some organs you cannot replace. But this you can replace. He was in India, preaching in India. And he preached so nicely that when it came to the crisis, it was clear his liver has to be replaced, otherwise he will die. So there was an appeal made to people who wants to donate his liver to help him. It's not always possible, you have to have the compatibility and not everybody. You know? And I heard, so far I know, liver is something can grow again. It can actually, you know, it's actually, that's so far I know. I'm not a doctor. But he got so many offers of livers that in a hospital they were shocked. They said, what kind of man is this? We just sent a message, please, maybe who is so wonderful can donate his liver. There was like 100 livers coming in. Yeah, me, please, I want to donate my liver. And he got a liver transplant. So we are not against that, but again, we come to the point of charity. You replace some organ, prolong somebody's life, for what purpose? And that's a more important question to ask. What is the purpose of his life? I saw my mother dying for many years. She had heavy diabetes. It's a disease which is cloaking the veins, you know. The blood is get polluted. So eventually you may get an amputation or something because it doesn't work. My mother didn't have that. She was very rigid, the diet and everything. But she got a heart stroke. She got a brain stroke. But she was such a heavy fighter. She always came out alive. You know. But the recuperation time, rehabilitation time was very, very long. And that happened over and over again. So she came to understand, this is no use to maintain this body. She was not very Krishna conscious. But logically she said, what's the use to live in a body like this? Another heart stroke, another brain stroke. What is this? So she actually said, well, maybe I should die. This body is useless. No, they didn't allow her to die. She was at the end such a helpless condition, she couldn't even defend herself, and the doctors were again, this and that, and they kept her breathing. You know, they are so crazy, they go that far, they put you on a machine breathing for you. And then there's a big problem, who is going to switch off the machine? Sometimes the relatives go, this is no use. Actually, originally the man was supposed to die already, let's say 1 year ago, 2 years ago. But they keep the machine going. And then even the doctor said, well, it's going for too long. We need the machine somewhere else. So they switched off the machine, the man died. It's very artificial. In Krishna consciousness we go, if the body is damaged, it doesn't work. On a certain point, there is no repair. Srila Prabhupada gave an example. It's like an old car. The more you repair it, the more it falls apart. You fix this and then this falls off. Then you fix that and that falls off. So it's obvious, the car is finished. You know? So there's some logic and limit to what can be repaired and what can be restored. And regarding organs and health, I know examples of amazing examples of devotees going to a doctor for examination. I know, I'll give you an example of one Italian lady. I saw her only 1-2 times when I was visiting Italy. She had some problem. She was noticing some boils coming out. What is this? So he was going to a doctor, and the doctor said, "Oh, this is serious. You have a cancer." And the cancer already spread so much that he said, "Probably in 3 months you will die." She said, "Oh, that's a good news. I know when I will die." Most people don't even know when they will die. Okay? So at least I know, I can prepare myself. But then she looked at the doctor and she said, "I have some news for you too. You will die too." And the doctor said, "What are you talking about? This is serious. I just told you, you will die. You don't understand?" She said, "No, you don't understand. You don't understand. You will die too." And she started to preach to him. The doctor was shocked. He never had a patient like this. And you know what happened? She didn't die. Someone wanted the cancer retreated and she didn't die. It wasn't her time to go. Maybe the doctor died. I don't know. So how do we know? So we can try to replace origins, but Srila Prabhupada was, if you would follow his example, it was scary. It was really scary. Can you imagine? An old man, 2 heart attacks. And he gave one instruction to his disciples. You never bring me to a hospital. They were shocked. Why? He said, I have my reasons. Never bring me to a hospital. And they were like, what shall we do when you get another heart attack? He said, you just chant Hare Krishna. It didn't make any sense. And then they found out why he was so rigid. First of all, his whole life he was in a medical business. Srila Prabhupada was pharmacist. And he knew that most of the medicine you buy in a pharmacy is basically copies of another medicine with another name on it. Or it's just plain cheating. So, and then he knew one of his godbrothers, it happened to him. He got also severely sick in India. And his disciples brought him to the most best hospital they could find. Outside of the Holy Dham. Outside of the place. And there he died in a hospital surrounded by the most fancy machines. So this is a serious thing from spiritual point of view. Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, there where you are, that's not there where you are, but what you think, what your consciousness is, that's where you go in the next lifetime. Therefore devotees, rather as to bother about the hospital and thing, they seek a location, a place where they can maximum remember Krishna. Because Krishna says, whoever remembers me when he is dying, he goes to me. And regardless of however origins we may replace and prolong and improve the lifespan of a man, he will die anyway. A new heart, new kidney, new liver, then he will die anyway. Because the time has come, he has to die. So we do take care, but we also consider the limits of the care, the limits of the health. And sometimes it goes, there's no use. Get out the chant Hare Krishna and get ready to go. That's individual. Everybody has to more or less decide for himself. And then I can end it with a description of a classical natural death in Vedic times where this culture was spread. You know what natural, actually death is not natural for the soul. But normal death is the heart just stops. Finished. Your lifespan exhausted, the heart stops, and you go. Not only that, but it is recorded, even from, I know it, even from times where, not so long time ago, where there were still people living somewhat natural life. So that is a warning. I met people who said, yeah, my grandfather, he came home and he was still working. But he said, I think tomorrow I will die. The next day he died. A good warning. There's even such a thing as possible. Now, people die the most unpredictable, horrible, ghastly death in the most crazy locations, intoxicated, mad, car accidents, bang! You know, they die in the most horrible way because of their sinful life. But we have this one nice security as devotees. We will die when Krishna wants us to die. I don't. I'm sitting here, I'm looking quite alive, isn't it? In my age, the body, so many of my people and devotees I knew already died. Why not me? I had one good brother. He gave lecture like this in the morning. In the evening he was dead. With no external signs. There's no external signs even for that. He was not sick. He was dead in the morning, in the evening. I have examples of good brothers dying in such an amazing, glorious way. Full consciousness. Sometimes people die in delirium, in coma, just, they don't even, completely covered. I had a good brother who died in India. He was an amazing personality. He spoke a day before to me. And he said, look, my body is finished. And he made like this. And his body was like a sponge, There was no substance really. It was like, it didn't came back to the original shape even. It was like, he said, look, it's finished. The next day he died, you know how? In the early morning, he woke up and they already knew that he may die soon. So there was a big picture of Srila Prabhupada in front of him placed. He was known as an absolute lover of Srila Prabhupada. So he said, he looked at the picture and he was going, Srila Prabhupada ki! And when he said Jaya, he fell back and he was dead. Full conscious. It can die like this too, if there's blessing. This is just an example since we talked about origins and dying. So, yeah. But it's individual choice. If tomorrow somebody would tell me, oh, this origin of yours is really, can be replaced, in this shape I am now, I would say, forget it. Forget it. I saw recently in Croatia, you have an example of devotee falling sick, going to the hospital, and he died there. On a disease which is not sure, he couldn't survive. He could survive that. But in a hospital they kill him. You know how many people get killed in the hospitals? Many. By infections It's a dirty place, actually, very often. By infections, by wrongly applied medicine. How do you know? We don't know anything about this. There's no control. They go, well, the patient died. What can we do? This guy, this devotee, was suffocated by breathing machine. Instead of helping him breathing, it killed him. Ego. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Is Manidhar Prabhu?